Alright, so I have effectively turned off my external devices for sounds. And so hopefully we'll have some better performance here. If you are an NVIDIA user, good guy Gandalf here, with a helpful performance tip. Andre Ehrman came out with this 13 hours ago and said, hey, if you're an NVIDIA user, you can turn off the NVIDIA High Definition Audio and NVIDIA Virtual Audio device. You'll need to go into your device manager and actually manually disable those two particular things, and supposedly that helps with in-game performance. So, welcome all. I am Good Guy Gandalf. I have done G3 Iron a solid, done him a favor by going in and turning that functionality off. And away we go. G3 Iron was playing a build and was attempting to play as a champion. But, you know, ultimately, the dual wielding bugs just were too much. It was simply too much. And so here we are. We're in Act 1. We are a Templar. We are going to be leveling up with Archmage support. And then we're going to be trying it out with different skills. And hopefully that will go well. Oh yeah, I was going to chromatic this so that way I actually can use added lightning support. Apparently there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with Archmage support that's absolutely bonkers, stacking mana. And so we'll most likely go Hierophant. That's probably going to be the plan here today, to go Hierophant, and then we'll see what results from that. Let's see if we can't get this to be 3 blue. No? No? How many chromes am I going to waste on a level 1 leveling wand? Alright, we'll go with 2 blue. So we're going to go with added lightning damage onto what? Onto Freezing Pulse? Yeah? That sounds good, right? Yeah, 2 to 18 lightning damage. There you go. Then we got Spark going over here. We've got Frostblink. I don't have any boots yet. I probably should go buy a Wanderlust, shouldn't I? Welcome, Tony. Welcome, Alejandro. Welcome, Skepsis. What's up, Dragosi? Welcome, welcome, one and all. We are no longer operating on the Cyclone Champion. I was debating whether or not I should recommend to G3 Iron that he play a two-hander version of the Cyclone, but I don't know where he went. G3 Iron just left the building, and so no worries. G3 Gandalf is here to help out with whatever troubles you are having today. Let's go buy a Wanderlust. I've got a couple of chaos from all my mapping. Let's go get one. Wanderlust. Let's go see if this will be helpful. Give us some movement speed and won't be able to be frozen while we're leveling. That would be quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Also, we're going to need a hat. We're going to need a hat for our character. I need to get like the most wizardy looking hat in Rayclast. Hey, what's up, Marlon? Welcome, welcome. Ambrose says, I just unspec'd my Hierophant out of Sanctuary of Thought and gained more than 50% more damage, so do not take Sanctuary of Thought. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Sanctuary of Thought, cutting your mana, cutting mana costs, not a good policy. If you're going for the Archmage mana stacking. Not a good idea. Let's see if we can't buy a Wanderlust. Should we buy some Life Sprigs as well? Maybe not Life Sprigs. Hey, there we go. Somebody's finally going to sell us a Wanderlust. Alright, we got 29 Chaos for our second character that we get to mess around with. You guys heard about the development manifesto, I assume, from yesterday? When I actually was talking with Frodo Baggins about the development manifesto, he actually had some words to say, and I'm reading you an exact quote now of what our exchange was regarding the Delirium manifesto. Frodo said, "I wish the Delirium bugs had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened." And so I just had to tell him, so do all who live to see such League launches. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the League launch that is given to us. That was the wisdom from me, Good Guy Gandalf, that I was able to provide for our dear Frodo Baggins. All right, let's get Frostblink on here. Let's get that on our right hand. And then I think we want Double Dash or Second Wind or Mario Kart, something. We want something in that slot. I'm going to want a helmet. Do I want a gold rim? Just a super duper fix my hat situation for the next, I don't know, 40 levels or so. How much is a gold rim going for right now? 1C? Yeah, we're going to get one of those. We're going to get one of those. Sure, I'll buy your life sprig for a chaos. Is that the going rate of life sprigs? I'll pay whatever the going rate is. Whatever the going rate is, that is what I will pay. Why, thank you, good sir. That is most kind. All right, now we actually have a weapon that we can use and be proud of. We can throw some chromes on this thing. There we go. Look at that. 3 linked right away. This is a sign from above. All right, so let's go Freezing Pulse, Added Lightning, and Spark. Let's go Frost Bomb over here. Once we hit level 10, we can equip some of this other stuff. Oh, man, gold rims are 2C. We're really breaking the bank here. I mean, if they actually are 2 to 3C. I see the price just keeps scaling. Maybe these are all price fixers. Oh, man, that's funny. Marlon, if you need a guild officer online for a last-minute deposit, feel free to tag the guild officers in the Delirium League chat. Make sure you use the @guild-officer function. See if that works. It should tag me if nobody else. If nobody else is on, then I will happily take it. Much rather get your deposit in rather than not. So just use that tag in the Delirium portion of the Good Guy Gaming Patreon supporters Discord. Demian25 says, what level are you? We are currently level 9, baby. Main character got up to like level 83 or 82. And then I just couldn't take it anymore. I could not take like the weapon swapping bug. Like I feel like even with having a thrusting sword, which is what somebody at GGG had said, I think it was either Mark or Rory had said should fix the dual wielding bug. It sometimes it was working and sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes you were doing damage and sometimes you just spun into a pack. It didn't have to be a Delirium pack. It could be anything and just nothing would happen whatsoever. So enough of that frustration. Don't need to be tilted while I'm playing a video game. Don't need to be upset while playing a video game. Just want to have a good time. Just want to have a good time with all of my buddies in the fellowship. The fellowship of the path. The fellowship of the Rayclast. The fellowship of the exile. That's what we're looking for here today. We're going to build a fellowship and my life sprig and my axe. No axes. No more dual wielding. Kika says, hey G3, my minions have been getting mauled in Delirium. Yeah, I believe it. Go play Animate Weapon Cold Conversion. It's really good. Faculty says, day 4-5 reroll. Uh-oh, noob trap. Make some bank, G3. What's happening? Yeah, I know, right? Oof, it's rough. It's really, really rough. What's up, Raptor? Welcome, Pavel. The reality is that it's so bad. The dual wielding is so bad. I don't want to get into an instance or every single pack that I get into and go, oh, am I doing damage to this pack or am I not doing damage to this pack? I have like 100% accuracy. I've got the proper weapons that they've said should fix based on the bug. And then yesterday's development manifesto, they said, hey, we were going to fix the dual wielding bug. But oh wait, we actually introduced a new bug with it, so we can't deploy it yet. It's coming. I'm not angry about that. I would much rather they take their time and fix it, rather than just try to force out an update that doesn't work. So I'm glad they're working on it. I'm glad they're trying to fix it. That Champion Cyclone Impale character is going to be there for when it is fixed. But while I'm waiting for that, I might as well actually play a character that works. I could swap over to, I was debating that, I could swap over to an Elder axe, or like an Elder sword that has like Fortify. Supported attacks are supported by Fortify. Socketed gems are supported by level 1 Fortify. I could do that. but the damage on all of the two-handed weapons that are out right now that were Elder rolled, like, was legitimately worse than what my two-hander setup was going to be. Like, one of my two-hander setups was going to be 240 DPS, physical DPS, and the two-handers that were Elders were like 230 and below. Yeah. So I could craft one. I could buy a base and then craft on it. I was like, you know what? This isn't worth it. Let's go have fun with a wizard character. I've got some currency that I can jumpstart now. And then we can have fun leveling with what is this? With a Hierophant or Inquisitor. We might go Inquisitor. I'm thinking we'll probably go Hierophant just because of all the mana that's on there. Also, once we hit level 12, I think we can use brands. So we'll probably try that. That's most likely what we'll try. But we'll see. All right, so Piety's going to come up here and scream at me. And then away we go. Is Double Dash pretty good, by the way? Or I'm sorry, Second Wind. Is Double Dash pretty good? I heard it's pretty good. I kind of want to use Lightning Warp, but I can't until I'm level 10. I want to try that new Lightning Warp and see how good it is, see exactly how good it is. I do feel like my performance has gone up since turning off that NVIDIA processor, by the way. So those of you who are looking, there is a NVIDIA processor, like sound settings that you can just straight up disable. It doesn't mess with your sound in game, and it improves your performance. So that's a bonus. That's something good. It's on Reddit, by the way. In fact, I will tag this in chat so that way posterity has this update. This is the, where is it? That's just the image. Where's the comments? The comments have an explanation about how you can go in and find it. If you're an NVIDIA user, you can go in and disable your sound settings. We actually did that right as the stream started today, just so that way people could see what it looked like. Eventually I'm going to want to come up in here and grab some more lightning damage. Yeah, we're going to want more lightning damage. And what else? I'm level 10 now, so I can use Lightning Warp. Woohoo! Alright, Lightning Warp, we're level 10 now. We can use Clarity. Let's put Clarity in here instead of Frost Bomb. Woohoo! Alright, Clarity, and let's put Lightning Warp on R. What does this feel like? It's slightly faster than walking, but not by much. But that's also at level 1. So I assume that means we'll have some significant improvement as we get less duration. Yeah, it should be a lot better. Kikaz says, I wonder if Mana Guardian would do well with Archmage. Had 8k mana last league. Yeah, but Guardian in and of itself doesn't necessarily do anything with mana stacking, right? I think that's why Hierophant's going to be the better option. Because Hierophant actually has some like mana stacking and percentage mana increases. We were talking about that for a while when the keynodes came out. The new keynodes with cluster jewels that are available in Delirium. And just for the sole fact alone that Hierophant actually has like 10 and 20% increased mana, like that's going to be pretty good. Now, what you want to avoid is you want to avoid taking anything that'll reduce the cost of your skills. Because if you reduce the cost of your skills, you're nerfing your damage. So, DMG says, hi there, re-rolling? Yes, we are. I am so sick of the dual wielding bugs. And I love this game too much to not play it when I've got time to play it. So, let's get out of there. There we go. Away we go! Onward and upward. Alright, let's go find the next zone waypoint. I was debating just cheese leveling this character and using my second account for this character and then giving myself all the waypoints. And I was like, you know what? You know what? I've got the time today. Let's all go hang out together. Let's all hang out together and see exactly what we can get accomplished as we run through on a second character. See what happens. It is going to be over here on the right or left, yeah. Whew. Pavel says they need to make it like option. Do you want to enter the Delirium? Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the visual effect of the mirror. I like what they're going for there as an aesthetic. I enjoy that. What I don't enjoy is the performance issues that accompany it. So, that's kind of the bummer. I did pick up a Watcher's Eye that the Guild Bank invested in, because a whole bunch of people are going to want anything that does lightning damage, like Wild Wrath or Wild Herald of Thunder. Herald of Thunder and Herald of Lightning are just going to be insane for the damage with all the multipliers that are there from Whatchahoozit, from Archmage support. Like, basically everybody's going to want Watcher's Eyes that increase lightning damage, because you're already going to be running those auras potentially. Because if you can get a reserved mana, I understand that it's like, hey, if you don't reserve your mana, that's more mana that you're spending. But if you can reserve your mana for just a little bit and get a significant increase, I think there will be someone that will figure out a way. Not me, maybe me. You never know. But most likely not me. But somebody will figure out a way to make it so that way you can reserve like one aura and still make Archmage support incredibly strong. And that one aura will most likely be like, you know, Herald of Thunder or something like that. And if you're really worried about reserving mana, then all you have to do is just use an Essence Worm, right? Just use an Essence Worm, and then you socket your Wrath or your Herald of Thunder, whatever it is, inside your Essence Worm, and then you get one aura that's not reserving any of your mana at all. So you can either resolve that issue with an Essence Worm, or you can like reduce the amount of mana that you'll have on reserved auras. There's a couple different ways you can do it. No, get over there. Can I hop? Let me hop. There we go. We successfully hopped. Hippity hoppity. All right, Pavel, have a great rest of your day. Have fun at work. Stay safe. DMG says, I am re-rolling as well. Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you re-rolling to? I had fun in maps. I enjoy the supply of maps that we have this league. I feel like the map drops are incredibly plentiful. I feel like it's very rewarding to push higher and higher tiers into your Atlas. Like, I feel like everything about the end game except Delirium is much better. I like the way how the Conqueror Influence now spawns and gives you heads up about how you're progressing on Conqueror Influence. I like that. It's a fantastic feature. Like, the quality of life that they've added this league is very, very high. So I don't, in the midst of all of our saltiness about Delirium, I don't want to lose out on all of the other, you know, great things that have been implemented this league, or this patch. And there have been a lot of great things that have been implemented. Don't want to lose out on that. Oh no, it's a Volside area! It's a trap! Tricking Delirium says, oh, a life sprig. Oh, right on. Right on. Thanks. Send me invite. I will buy your life sprig for a chaos, good sir. Alright, let's find this waypoint. Alright, here's Mervale. Let's go drop a portal and go here. Whew. Raptor says, done a Delirium and got 12 Scarabs. Yeah, I did one and had 14 drop for me. It was fantastic. Like, the rewards are potentially really, really good when they work. When they don't work, they're atrocious. So, that's the bummer. Oh, nice. Removes freeze and chill. I actually don't need the freeze and chill, but there we go. All right, let's put this life sprig. Let's roll this as a 3-link. Can I do that? There we go. There we go. With 2 blues and a green. Perfect. And we'll put clarity in there, and we'll put lightning warp in there. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, Tricking Delirium. Nice. DMG says, I cannot do Delirium on maps. My PC just crashes. Yeah. K Santos says, dual wielding bugs? Yeah, there's a lot of dual wielding bugs presently. So if you're not aware, if you're unaware, there's a whole bunch of dual wielding bugs that are quite obnoxious, and I just don't want to deal with them. So, by the way, I'm using PoE Trades Companion. That's what's here on the background. So it's hidden right now underneath what I'm currently playing, but that's what I use as my trade helper, as my UI, for those of you who are wondering. All right, anything else that I want to do while I'm in town? I think I'm level 11. Once I'm level 12, I can get Stormbrand. And then we can really see what this thing can do. Yeah, there's Stormbrand. I think Archmage, is Archmage level 12? I don't know, I'll have to look it up. Maybe it's much, much higher than that. Let's find out. Here I am, I'm playing a character all around Archmage. And I don't even know. When is it available? It's available in Act 7. Oh no! Oh no, Act 3. Act 3, you need to be level 31. Okay, that's not too bad. We can get to level 31. We can do that. Alright, let's go through here. Brian says, hey, G3, love to see you live. Alright, welcome, man. Glad to have you here. I'm not sure where G3 Iron went, but G3 Gandalf is here for the day. I don't even have a belt. Alright, let's go see. Can we freezing pulse? I could also spark. Right? Right? Yeah, I've got spark in here. So let's put spark on here. Let's put Sparky, good old Sparky. Love me some spark. Let's grab, do I want to grab cast speed? Yeah, let's grab cast speed with that. Get those sparks going. Hey, you're supposed to be getting sparked, my lady. Whoops. Get over in the corner. Come here into the corner. Why aren't you in the corner? Bounce, bounce, bounce. It's because I have 0 cast speed. How does Freezing Pulse perform? Almost nothing. The spark was better. Somebody wants to buy a whole bunch of Exalted for 275 stacked decks. Wow. That's a lot. Sounds like a good deal. Stacked decks are only going to go up in price. I should probably take that deal, huh? Too bad I don't have any portal scrolls. Do I? No, I don't think I do, actually. Alright, go get him, Spark. Don't stand inside her stupid screaming pool. Alright, she's gonna jump around, right? Yep, there she goes. Jump around. Jump around. I should be frost bombing her at this point too, but I'm not, because I'm lame. For no other reason than I'm lame. She's freezing me, I'm freezing her. It's a game of let's freeze each other. You guys ever do that with your significant others? Let's freeze each other. You ever run up to somebody and drop some ice down their back? I like to do that sometimes. Let's see if this guy still wants to trade. Zebek. Alsderda says, what skill do you plan on using later? Stormbrand? A whole bunch of people are using Stormbrand. Oh, I guess he really didn't want to trade. A whole bunch of people are using Stormbrand. I've seen Fast AF did an example with Archmage on Arc. Ziggy D last night or yesterday, depending on where you are in the world, he did an example of Archmage with Orb of Storms and then with Tempest Shield in order to proc it. That seemed to be a brilliant combo. That's going to be an awesome combo for bossing. You just walk up to a boss, drop Orb of Storms, and then you proc Tempest Shield. Oh my goodness, bosses are just going to get electrocuted and massacred. I've actually seen a couple of people, so that's Ziggy and Fast AF that have done a couple of things. I actually want to try something that is very, very old-ish. I want to say it was 2 or 3 leagues ago. Oh my goodness, maybe it was even longer. Yeah, it was Delve, I think. It was Delve. When was Delve League, guys? I'm getting too old. In Delve League, Mathel actually showed off how to play, I think it was a Deadeye Magma Orb build. And you took the chain bonus. And, of course, it did a whole bunch of damage. And so the theory with this would be that you use... All right, so bear with me here for a second. Bear with me. I'm going to try to explain the theory. The theory is Magma Orb does more damage based on each chain, right? So you can increase the damage based on chain. However, since Delve League, we've gotten a whole bunch of other self-casting buffs, right? Synthesis was the self-casting rework that made self-casting somewhat more viable. Well, if you're going to Magma Orb, one of the problems with it is that it is very slow to level with. It is very slow to map with. It's clear. It's fantastic because it kills everything on a single cast. But the problem is that your cast speed is relatively slow and the travel speed on Magma Orb is relatively slow. So this is my big brain thought for Archmage support. What you do is you use a Pledge of Hands with level 30 greater spell echo. You then put Unleash support into your Magma Orb. So that way you're using all of your mana on that single cast, and that single cast then repeats because of greater spell echo. So all of those Magma Orb chains that come out, and you play it as a Hierophant rather than as a chaining Deadeye. So that also might be a little bit different. But you use chain support to give it an additional chain. So you should have like 3 casts, right? Greater spell echo that all come out and that all have the bonuses of being unleashed and using all of your mana from Archmage support. So, that is the idea. That's the concept. That's what we're going for. It may or may not work, but that's my, 90 IQ thought process on Archmage support. There already are plenty of proven ideas behind Stormbrand. We already know Stormbrand is a great league starter. It's completely viable, completely great. It's grand. If you're not sure what else you want to mess around with, if you're not confident in your ability to make decisions in that regard, you should totally just go with Stormbrand. Like, it's good, and it will carry you very, very far. The fact that it snapshots your damage, I'm a little bit worried because I think GGG might actually nerf that, like, in League. Like, that's a strong enough thing that they might look at that and go, oh, we're nerfing that in League. They very, very rarely do that. But they might say, oh, that's an unintended interaction. We didn't mean for it to be that strong, and that's actually a bug, and we're patching it out. They typically don't nerf stuff in League. The only time that they really nerf stuff in League is if it is a genuine bug, and it's a bug fix. That's how they explain it, at least. So I'm a little bit worried about going brand and then having it, not perform to my own liking. That's what I'm a little worried about. So that's one of the reasons why I want to try several different spells, because I think basically any spell that you use is going to be fantastic. Like, that's the reality of it. Maybe they'll just be like, oh, Archmage is the thing that's actually broken, so maybe they'll patch that. Maybe they'll fix that. I don't know. But right now, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Magma Orb, and I'm thinking Unleash with Pledge of Hands. Mana, Dex, and Cold Resistance. I guess I'll take it. Maximum life, and fire. I guess I'll take it. Alright, anything else that I need to do over here? I need to put this flask in the flasks container. We can now use Stormbrand, which is good. We can use Stormbrand while we're leveling. So we'll use Stormbrand. We'll take out Freezing Pulse. What's over here? Clarity and Lightning Warp? Okay, that's fine. Are there any other supports that I want to grab? At level, what? Level 12? Added Lightning, Combustion, Infernal Legion? No, I don't think so. Increased Duration, Increased Effective Non-Damaging Ailments? I guess, but I'm using Shock right now. I could have... I don't think there's any physical damage that actually goes on to Stormbrand, right? Yeah, it's all lightning damage. Yeah. Elemental Prolif. We could do Elemental Proliferation for Shock. Oh boy. Sure, why not? I have the spot for it. Sure. I should just be doing Spark, but anyway. Alright, let's go on to Act 2. Away! Act 3, Gandalf. Is it left or right? Go to the right. Always go to the right. So, is this hero Brand or Gandalf? So I may or may not be doing the brands. We just covered that. I'm sorry if that's a question that's already asked and answered. When does brand recall come about? I want to say that's later on, right? I need to look that up really quick. The one of the first leagues that brands were out, I think it was the first league that brands were out, right? Was Betrayal. And I took down Shaper on my standalone account. Yeah, it requires level 16. So we'll get it here. We'll get it here in Act 2. Took down Shaper on a Armageddon brand, and it was glorious. I loved it. It was fun. It was fast. It was safe. Brands are incredibly safe because they just attach, and then boom, away you go. Like, they do damage while you're running. So they're very, very safe for both for league starting, but also for bossing. Very, very safe. Wow, that's going up now? Look at this. Do you guys see what I'm saying about the design of levels? I was complaining about this all during league start. It used to be that you used to know, oh, I guess technically that's going north now, right? Do you see how it juts in and then it goes up? It's technically going up. Oh, man. So funny. Tristan says, do you already have a pledge? Yeah, I do already have a pledge. I would say that things are actually running pretty lag-free at the moment. So whatever that performance issue that was attached with NVIDIA Sound, whatever that was, that actually did work. So that's the good news. Look at Stormbrand doing work, man. Woo! Can't wait to have Storm Bind and Archmage support, but that'll be later. That will come later. Later, Gandalf. Later.
Where is the Archmage support?
What if Golem? What if next league I cosplay as Golem? What build would Golem play? Jungle says, have a nice lag-free run this time? Yeah, that's the hope. All right, we've got 3 passive skills here. Let's go grab some lightning damage. There we go. The one thing that I that I always like to point out to people about playing Inquisitor over playing Hero is that Inquisitor just does not care about resistances, right? And that is really nice. Like, especially after the 3.9 buffs to monster HP and monster resistances. If you can crit and ignore enemy resistances, then that's really good, right? You treat all enemies as though they have 0 resistances. It's pretty flippin' strong. Do I want anything else in the +1 level? No, I just need more blue sockets. That's all I need. Kill Caitlyn. Wow, is lightning warp actually dealing damage? Lightning warp actually deals damage, guys. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Maybe I'll just level with lightning warp, eh? I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the lightning warp. You shall not pass. Oh my goodness, I found my new build. All right, exit back to character selection, and away we go. Golem would play a magic finder? Nicholas says Golem would play a Golem summoner. Yeah. Do you guys pronounce it Golem or Golem? How do you guys pronounce it? When you're reading, not when you're watching a movie. I don't want to talk about watching movies. Don't talk to me about Lord of the Rings the movie. Talking about reading. So lightning warping Archmage? Yeah, why not? Just lightning warp on top of the Uber Elder. See how that goes. It will not end well. Oh, look at that. Somebody wants to buy our level 21 determination. All right. Let's invite them to party. We like to party. All right, let's go to that guy's hideout. There we go. Sakai McAlliber says, "Is that Ben Thunder?" Yeah, I should have named this character Ben Thunder, right? No, that's somebody else's meme. It's not cool to steal other people's memes. It's much more cool to make your own memes. All right, see, we've got a Pledge of Hands right there. We're selling it for 2x right now, which I feel like is still actually pretty cheap. I may still actually use Pledge of Hands, but we'll find out. We'll find out if I use it or not. I think if Archmage support works with if it works the way I'm thinking with Unleash, then it'll be really, really good. If it doesn't work the way I'm thinking with Unleash for like some very specific combos, then that's going to be a bummer. All right. While I'm here, is there anything else I should do? I should probably put on a belt. Did anybody put a belt in the leveling items? Is there a belt in here I can snag? Pillar of the Cage God. Oh boy, increased area of effect per 20 intelligence. I don't need the attacks though. Area of effect is nice, but I'd much rather have the double plus ones on my wands. Okay, away we go. Oh, another guild deposit. All right, go put that in the guild bank. Ta-da! All right, back on out into the world. You guys pronounce it Golem? Golem? Golem like golly? Oh, gee, golly. Golem. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I probably just mispronounced it. It's totally possible. Critical says, double Poet's Pen plus COC plus Spell Slinger, only using Lightning Warps. Big brain idea. Yeah, that might be a new Crash on Crit build. Right? That might be quite good. So far, Stormbrand feels pretty good. What a shock. I'm shocked that Stormbrand feels good. What I'm actually shocked by is that Lightning Warp feels good. That's legitimately something I was not expecting. Was not expecting Lightning Warp to be able to deal damage. I don't care what level it is. I don't care if this is what, level 14. The fact that Lightning Warp does any damage whatsoever is pretty hilarious to me. Oh no, there's a big bad guy. What do we do? Stand on top of it and Lightning Warp. Imagine if Gandalf would have had... I mean, imagine if I would have had Lightning Warp at my disposal when I fought the Balrog of Moria. Imagine how much better things would have gone. Oh, bother. Micah says, I remember seeing a video from official GGG posted builds showcasing a Lightning Warp Scion. Yeah, there you go. Alright, is there any other lightning that we should do? Lightning over here, maybe? There was a grand mana flask. That might be helpful on a grand adventure. Don't you want to go on a grand adventure? Yeah, basically one cast of Stormbrand is killing stuff. Whoa, what's going on with my latency there? What's going on? It's almost like I'm playing Delirium League or something. Yeah, I think with reduced duration, oh my gosh, Lightning Warp is just going to be... I can just kill stuff instantly with Lightning Warp. That moment when Lightning Warp is actually a better clear skill than Stormbrand. What? That's crazy. Mike says G3 Iron is now being Gandalf. Yes, my friend. I don't know what happened to G3 Iron. What happened to him? Have you guys seen him today? I have not seen him. I did hear a nasty rumor on the Discord that G3 Iron and G3 Gandalf are actually the same person. Somebody had pointed out that nobody's ever seen them both in the same room at the same time. I think that's all hogwash, though. Clearly, I am G3 Gandalf. Oh, portal scroll. We actually need those. I should just go buy a portal gem. I really should. That'll save me so much time clicking. Another thing that's different from when I was leveling G3 Iron's duelist for him is, what else was I going to say? Oh, is that I swapped over my loot filter. I'm now actually using Neversink's loot filter. So I like to league start with Stupid Fat Hobbit's loot filter because of the way how he prioritizes early game, like 4 links, 3 links, etc. I love the way how he does that and how he categorizes them. But then I like to swap over to Neversink's once I feel like I'm kind of in the mid-ish kind of game. Mid-ish section of the game. We're just getting levels right now, and then we'll progress the story here in a second. Alright, away we go. Balding Gandalf? Yeah, this Gandalf is definitely balding. Yeah. Definitely balding Gandalf. Let's do that. And let's do that. There we go. Alright. Let's put this in a... There we go. And what else do I want to do here? I need to go up to Chamber of Sins, right? Yeah, Chamber of Sins. And then what can I get at... Is it level 18, I think is what we said Stormbrand Recall comes at? Or Brand Recall? I believe that's where it comes in. Whew! Alright, let's go find Chamber of Sins. I still can't believe... If we level this thing up to like level 20, is the cast time on Lightning Warp just basically going to be instant? I'm sorry, not the cast time. Is the travel time basically going to be instant? And then, like, what's going to happen when we use reduced duration? We'll have to find out. Have any of you guys in chat actually messed around with Archmage support yet? I have not. What I should have done is I should have gone on to Standard League and seen if my ideas will work over there. That's what I should have done. I should have grabbed my Hierophant over there just to see if it would work. But I didn't. Oh, wow. I'm doing no damage to this guy. Yeah, we're out of here. See ya. A mob that we do no damage to? What new foul sorcery is this? Tell me, when did Einhar the Beastmaster abandon reason for madness? Oh, I need to stop leveling my clarity. Oops. Man, there's so many things in PoE that are counterintuitive. Like, I should level all these things up. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. If you're a new player to Path of Exile, I really am sympathetic. Because... Or maybe I'm just pathetic. But there's so many things that you should not do. Shout out to Gnarls Broccoli, by the way. Gnarls, if you're out there. Gnarls is the original good guy Gandalf. He's the OG, as they call it. The OG Gandalf. The actual Gandalf. Me, I am just a servant of the secret fire. He's actually the wielder of the secret fire. Alright, I went the wrong way. Go up and around. That's the way. There we go. That's the way we do it on the MTV. Would Gandalf be a fan of bands like Kansas? And who else? Wait, did Kansas do... No, Kansas didn't do that one. Who did that one? Kansas did Carry On My Wayward Son. No. Am I getting all these wrong? I think I've actually become delirious. I'm 100% infected by delirium. Who did that? Was that Electric Light Orchestra? I'm sorry, this is actually causing me a moment of actual real life lag. This isn't Delirium lag. Dire Straits, thank you. Dire Straits are the ones. Oh my goodness. That's how you know I'm not G3 Iron. G3 Iron would have remembered that. G3 Gandalf. No. He's so old. Gandalf was around for the 60s, but he was around for the Middle Earth 60s, like the original first century 60s. That's how old he is. All right, let's kill the monster. Oh no! Fidelitas. Let's see how you like getting lightning warped on, Fidelitas. My homeboy. He's shocked, too. He should be taking increased damage, so... Yeah, I like this. Imagine if I actually link some damage into lightning warp. Oh, man. How much better it will be. Alright, character selection. Boom. Away we go. James says Archmage brands increased by 3 times. DMG says just dinged 31. Gonna try Archmage. Yep, there you go. James says I was trying Purifying Mana Archmage and was out of mana in 3 casts. That's good. Yeah, brands and orbs. Yeah, that makes sense. So my big brain theory is magma orbs with Unleash and Chain. That's my big brain theory. We'll see if it works. Probably won't. We'll see. Alright, we can get Arcane Cloak here. Spend a portion of your mana to grant a buff that takes some of the damage from hits until depleted. The buff grants added lightning damage based on the amount of mana spent by this skill. Oh my goodness. The base duration is 3 seconds. That lasts so long. So you Arcane Cloak and then you Stormbrand and then you just laugh. That's what you do. Okay. All right, I'm taking clarity out of here. I need to re-roll some sockets here. That adds damage to attacks. I don't care about adding damage to attacks. Groost, do you have any blue Groost, my man, do you have any blue gloves for me? There we go. Perfect. Blue gloves. Away we go. Frost Bomb, Freezing Pulse, Spark. Do I want any of those? I guess I could level Spark. I like Spark. Personally, I go back to the days when Spark was like an awesome clear skill. I really enjoy it. So, I'm a big fan of Spark. I'm a big Spark hype man. All right, where should we go next? We should go... Oh, we should go grab Elemental Overload. Duh. That's a whole bunch of damage. It's a big damage multiplier. And let's refund this 12% lightning damage and just go grab that. There we go. Okay, now we've got Elemental Overload. Onward through Act 2. It's amazing how quickly you can level when you are leveling with just like a little bit of gear and you're in a leveling like rhythm. How much faster things go. It really is quite fascinating. Okay, there's the cloak. So the cloak now will last for... There we go. Okay. Yeah, because there's like 0 cost on brands, I feel like that's really, really strong. For the cloak, that is. Does the cloak act retroactively on brands? So like when I cast the cloak, do all of my brands get that lightning damage that are active, or just the new ones? I would think it would just be the new ones. But that damage is actually pretty good. Greater Life Flask, there we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. Alright, follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Also, the fact that it absorbs damage based on the mana spent, like, if you get like 6k mana, it's comparable to like Vol Molten Shell. That's pretty good. Dars says, speaking of counterintuitive, when I started PoE in Blight League, I slammed every Exalt I got. A few weeks later, I learned that 1x could buy me 10 times better gear than I had. Yeah. And then you found the G3 channel, and you're like, oh, now I know how to trade all this stuff. That's okay. We've all been starters at some point. It really is okay. Don't feel bad about it. There is a steep learning curve to this game. Don't feel bad about learning. What you should feel bad about is if you're not learning, right? When you're playing PoE and you feel like, hey, I haven't learned anything new for a while, that's when you should actually be worried. Not because it means that you've like learned everything there is to learn, but it means you're probably actually really far behind on stuff and you don't even know that there's stuff you're supposed to be learning. All right, this is the spider side of things, right? I think so. I think the spider was up there towards the top. Yeah. I probably missed it. Oh, no! All right, go get him, Stormbrand. Look at that. Look at how great that clears. That's really good. That's really good. Wait, is my frost blink is killing these guys? Oh, my goodness. That's great. What's up, Captain? Down you go. Man, that's... I should have league started this. I mean, G3 Iron should have league started this. So much more satisfying. There we go. Stormbrands. Stormbrands. Although I am glad that I've got that champion there. I'm just bugged from the bugs. If there were not those bugs that are active on dual wielding, then G3 Iron would probably still be here and probably still be playing Spinny Cyclone or dual wield guy. Uh-oh. Where is she? There she is. Attach. There we go. Not too bad. Yeah, I feel like Lightning Warp is actually the thing that's doing the most damage right now. That's super funny. Oh, man. That's pretty funny. All right, look at that. Somebody's coming in to buy our level 21 Hatred Gem for 50 Chaos. Woohoo! The guild is making bank. All right. This goes to the guild. James Cook says, this league is going to be so expensive, even small things right now, like Exalts instead of Chaos. Like, I wanted a good chest, but it was 6 Exalts right now for a 1-link. Yeah, if it's going to be meta this league, then yes, it will probably be pretty expensive, right? That's just the way how it goes in PoE. That's just the way how it goes. Yes. Oh, yes. We need a veiled items. For guild crafters. Is it tab 4? Is that tab 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Tab 6. There we go. So one of the things that we like to do as a guild is we like to force all of our early veiled items onto a couple of people, and then that person acts as our guild crafter throughout the rest of the league. And some players don't like doing that because they go, oh, well, then that person is the person who's getting all the benefits of all of that stuff. That sounds terrible. So that's fair. If you don't like doing it, it's okay. You're not forced into doing it. All of our stuff in G3 is all volunteer basis. Like if you want to participate in any of our stuff. So, welcome, Roy. Welcome. So far, things are going well. This is hilarious. We're actually doing more damage with Lightning Warp and with Storm Bind than I feel like clear rating, like with our high-end stuff on our champion. So things are going really well right now. I'm not interacting with Delirium, as you can see, because I don't want to deal with the performance issues. It's just been too tilting. I'm just going to wait until they come out with some patches, make things smoother, and we'll go from there. Look at the DPS. Right now the DPS is average damage is 31. When I use Arcane Cloak, it goes up to 40. I feel like that's a significant percentage. What, 9 flat damage off of 31? That's almost a 30% increase in terms of damage. That's not insignificant off of one single skill that you can have up basically all the time. I guess it does share like a cooldown. So you're going to have to be careful with that in relation to using it with other guard skills, but I feel like the damage is actually pretty good. Granted, it's just leveling, but it's just leveling, right? Like we don't have an ascendancy yet. We don't have a bunch of mana yet. It's only going to get better. That would be my point there. It's only going to get better, and it's already pretty dang good. Oh, and we've got Elemental Overload as well, which is great. Look at that damage on the Weaver. Look at that. That's fantastic. That's like some actual legitimate damage on Weaver. Usually I come into the Weaver's lair on like a fresh character, and I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? I can't do any damage. That's actually pretty good. And this is before we get Archmage going in combination with Arcane Cloak. Like, that's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, here comes Weaver. Everything's getting shocked, which means everything's taking increased damage. It's just great. It's just, it's just great. This is so smooth. Oh my goodness. It feels so good. It feels so good. Ken says, good luck with the new character. Hope things work out better. Yes, hopefully this will be a less tilting experiment than our last character. All right, we could get Elemental Focus. We also could get Controlled Destruction. Ooh, I feel like that would be good. Let's go with Controlled Destruction. Let's do Controlled Destruction in our 3-link instead of LA Prolif. And now our storm brand should actually do some pretty significant damage. All right, what do we need to do here? What else do I need to do? Do I need to talk to somebody in Line Eyes Watch? I feel like I do. Yes, I do. Roy says, I'm still doing my Herald of Purity Guardian, but because of the massive lag and such, I haven't really been playing it. It's hard to stay motivated when every TP or zone might DC you. Yeah, it's like the stability this league has been so bad. Like even the biggest fans of Path of Exile are like, kind of reevaluating this right now. All right, that should give me mana regeneration and cast speed. I like that. And let's go do the Flooded Depths right now. Might as well do it. I've got good clear speed. I've got movement skills. I don't like to do Submerged Passage until I have like some move skills. So, oh, this is one of our guild officers who's asking if we need to be buying anything. Let me go give some assignments here real quick. All right. What? Oh my! And we're back. Alright. Whew! We had some things to sort out with the guild, but they are sorted. So that's the good news. The good news is we got things sorted out, and away we go. Whew! Alright, so let's go do the submerged passage. I believe is what we were originally doing. Yes, that's what we were doing. Okay. Back into a state of game flow. We are finding the old dweller. The dweller of the deep. Like me. A dweller of the secret magic. Alright, why am I killing these mobs? These mobs are like level 5. I'm level 19. Come on, let's just find Dweller of the Deep. Why am I stopping to actually cast? Hey, welcome, Brian. It's good to see ya. Is there a build guide on Archmage? I'm essentially working on it presently. I'm not following a guide. I'm following a couple of different trees that I'm familiar with on the Path of Exile forums regarding Stormbrand and lightning damage and scaling that, and then mishmashing that with a Hierophant that I see on PoE Ninja, who is also, of course, using Stormbrand. I'm not sure if I want to use Stormbrand all the way. I've tried to make that clear several times throughout the stream today. Like, my goal with this is not to try out Stormbrand. We all know Stormbrand is going to be great. I would like to actually see if there's other combinations besides Stormbrand that will also be great. So that's what we're going for. Roy says, I had to redo Act 4 Piety 3 times because the game would crash the instance every time I tried her. Oh, that's terrible. Ugh, yeah. The performance this league. Really hope GGG can look into it. There's a lot lacking right now in way of performance. But turning off that NVIDIA sound driver, that actually helped me a lot. Alright, what do I want to grab next? I could go grab MOM, but we actually want that mana. I could come up here so that way I've got a cluster jewel ready. That would be fun. I could come all the way over here. Oh, what's this? Increased maximum mana? Increased maximum mana? I dare say. Oh, and then we've got critical strike chance. Yeah, we're going to come up through the crit and then go grab the mana. That's what we're going to go do. All right, we've already killed Weaver. We've already killed Alira. We've already killed Creightlin. I suppose I could have helped Alira for the crit, but right now, it's not what I'm worried about. Right now, we're just worried about killing all of the bandits, getting all of the passive points. Sakai says, oh, he went invisible due to his invisibility spell. Yes, Gandalf casted the invisibility spell. And you could not see me. Oh, look, a beast. Now, when I first went through Act 2, I actually didn't help Einhar complete his mission. And so it was actually quite humorous because there was a bug where Einhar would then just like follow me around randomly. At different points in different acts, he just showed up and was helping me out. Like there was one time in Act 6, there was another time in Act 5. It was like, why is Einhar over here? What is Einhar doing? Like we were running through the Oriath Square and Einhar was helping me out. It's like, okay. It's kind of interesting. Oh, goodness. Get that cloak back up. There we go. Get that cloak up. Doing damage. Shocking stuff. Get that cloak up. Yeah, Arcane Cloak. Arcane Cloak might actually turn out to be more of a problem than than Archmage. I don't know. We'll find out once we get to Archmage. I can envision a world wherein you would have Archmage on your bossing skill. So let's say you use a 6 link in your chest piece, and then you use a 6 link on a staff, or even you use like a 4 link in your helm, right? For clearing trash, you use Stormbrand for clearing trash or something like that. I can legitimately see that as a like, hey, 4 link or pseudo 6 link in your helm, and then just away you go. Like, and you just boss using Archmage for a whole bunch of added damage. Yeah, Lightning Warp is legitimately the best damage that I've got right now. I'm sorry, I'm just having too much fun with Lightning Warp. It would be like if I was playing, I don't know, Flame Dash. And it's like, oh, Flame Dash does the vast majority of my damage. Oh, I'm going to go kill this boss. What should I use? Lightning Warp. When else have you ever been able to say that as you've played Path of Exile? Oh, this is taking us back to a time in the days of old of Path of Exile where you could just play whatever it is that you wanted to play, and you could mix mash things. And it's not necessarily that it's going to carry you, you know, forever and for always. Whew. All right, let's spend this passive point coming up through critical and then grabbing all of this. And, oh, we also get chance to block spell damage. Then you get 2% increased spell damage per maximum 100 mana spent up to 40%. Yeah, we're going to get that up to 40%. We're definitely going to get that part. Tora says, what main skill? What's up, Tora? Glad to have you in chat today. I believe the main skill that we'll eventually get to, especially for bossing, will be Magma Orb. I think Magma Orb with Unleash and Chain and Archmage is going to be sick. So I think what you'll do is you'll cast Arcane Cloak. You'll then like pot right all the way up to get full mana. And then away you go. I also wonder how Lavinia's actually interacts with all this. So Lavinia's is a unique flask, and I might be mispronouncing it. It's a unique flask that makes it so that way your skills don't cost mana during the flask's effect. So since all this stuff, all of these various buffs require you to spend mana, I wonder if there's a way... I just wonder if there's a way to take advantage of that somehow. I wonder. I'm not sure what the way it would work, but I just wonder if there is a way. Like, look at this. Lightning Warp is legitimately the best clear skill that I've got right now. I don't even have it linked with damage, really. I've actually got Stormbrand linked with the damage. Oh, that's funny. All right, where is... I have to touch the giant object, the giant Vol object. Where is it? Is it up here? Yeah, I definitely notice a difference in the damage from when I use Arcane Cloak to when I don't. So that's good. It's good that it's noticeable this early on. Yeah, the damage without it, like, you can tell it's still good damage, but then you pop Arcane Cloak and it's like, oh, I just blow everything up. That's great. Oh my goodness, speaking of lag, holy moly. Thanks a lot, game. Jeez. Yeah, that level of rubber banding when you're playing Cyclone and you're dual wielding and you have no idea where your character's actually at and you're always in melee range, so you're always taking a bunch of damage from the enemy. Really scary. Really terrifying in my book. There's nothing quite as terrifying as playing an actual melee build and not knowing where your character is, and then all of a sudden the frames catch up and you just zoom way past all the enemies that you thought were dead and they're not actually dead. All because of the lags. Tora says, interesting, I'm going Stormbrand myself. Yeah, I think Stormbrand will be good for clear. And then I think that there's a lot of potential with a lot of different spells to actually scale up, especially with Unleash support. Unleash and then Greater Spell Echo with Pledge of Hands. Laucon says, Grinding Gear Games is going to nerf Archmage by the end of the week. They might. They might. I don't think so. It's only if it's a bug does stuff get really slammed on. Like, changed immediately. Guys on check says, no Orb of Storms. No, I'm going to go Orb of Storms, and we're going to try it with Tempest Shield, just like what Ziggy D showed off in his video. We will show that. Andrew says, are you following a POB? No, I'm not. I'm following a couple of different build guides on Hierophant and Stormbind, and then I'm following this guy on Path of Ninja, or on PoE Ninja. That's his tree that I'm following. Will asks, how's the guild bank going this league? Better or worse than in the past? I think it's going better this league. We actually limited players' deposits to 100 Chaos or 1x, and things are going a lot better for us as guild bankers, and things are therefore then going to go a lot better for the players. We've gotten into a couple of markets relatively early, and we're making good strides in those markets. So I would say we're making good amounts of profits. We're definitely going to be able to get people back their 10% and potentially even more. But we'll see. We'll see how many more deposits come in between now and pretty much 36 hours from now-ish. Yeah, 36 hours from now is when we'll close the bank for deposits. And then that's really when we'll go into heavy trading mode because we know the total amount of currency that we've got to work with. So that's always good. All right, away we go into the caverns. Epex says, Unleash Arc is actually scary for bossing and clear with Archmage. Yeah, so Fast AF showed that off in a video. I want to say that was 2 or 3 days ago. It's pretty compelling, like, to see how quickly Arc can just delete everything on the screen. And so many players are like, oh, but what about your mana regen? You're out of mana after one cast. Well, if every screen, every enemy is dead for every cast, and then you just... you can basically recharge your mana in between each screen. Like, you're getting full flask value back. So you don't have to worry about, you know, oh, do I not have mana? Like, you can either depend on your inherent mana regen. That's probably really good. Or you can straight up go with a massive mana flask or an enduring mana flask. And you just queue it up a whole bunch of times. And the flask effect's not going to wear off. Right? So... I feel like mana stacking is going to be quite good. Oh, we need to get our 2 passive points. Jeff Berg says Stormbrand is also very good for single target also, once you are able to put 2 brands on an enemy. Sure. Armageddon brand is actually better for single target. I really liked me some Armageddon brand back in the day. That was my takeout shaper build. In 3.5. Was it 3.5 or was it before then? Was it Bestiary? I don't remember. I think it was 3.5. All right, so we spent those 2 passive points. We now have a bunch more mana. We also have chance to block spell damage. And now we've got 1% increased mana regeneration per chance to block spell damage. So if we go in heavy and like invest a little bit in chance to block, that's also helps our mana regen. So that's nice. Anything else that I should be doing? Oh, I could use this really stupid Watcher's Eye that we bought, but that's in the guild bank, so I'd rather not do that. It's listed for like 20 or 30x right now. It's ridiculous. Every Watcher's Eye that is going to be giving lightning damage, like massive amounts of increased lightning damage, is going to be worth a lot. All right, we dealt with the bandits. Now we can ascend the ancient pyramid. Ascend the ancient pyramid. What other lightning skills should we try? We should probably try, well, I'm fairly certain that that Divine Ire would actually be really bad, right? Because it's a channeling skill. So if you try to channel and like all of your mana is gone after 1 second of channeling, that's going to be really bad, right? Yeah, that probably all of the channeling skills. Laocan says, does this build use MOM? I'm not sure if I want to use MOM. Hey, what's up, K-Trim? Welcome. Shout out to K-Trim. K-Trim streams on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He's one of our Good Guy Gaming Guild members. So far, he's been enjoying the Delirium League launch. And we've all been enjoying watching his stream. So I think what we want to do is we want to link the mana cloak, the arcane mana cloak. We want to link that with increased duration, right? We want to make that cost a bunch of mana. So you make arcane cloak cost a bunch of mana. And then you have Archmage support, which costs a bunch of mana. And you just go in and you just delete the game, right? On a single cast of your spell of choice. It might not even matter. Seriously, any lightning spell, it might not even matter. And then when there's broken combos like Orb of Storms plus Tempest, like it might not even matter. You might just be able to walk up to bosses and insta-phase them. Pelican says, I tried Armageddon Brand with Archmage at level 45 and 1.3k mana. The added lightning damage was higher than the fire damage by like more than 50%. Ah, that's great. That's truly great. That really is. I think there is nothing wrong with this situation. Power back in the hands of Selfcast. I like it. Oh no, but now everybody's going to play it. Yeah, that's fine. Let everybody play something and have fun. Everybody was playing Necromancers last league. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay for people to play things and have fun. What about totems, Divine Ire? Aku, the answer is I'm not sure how Archmage support works with totems yet. If somebody can clarify that for us, that'd be great. Geism says, definitely try some Divine Ire. Curious on the interaction. Just to try it. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff that is channeled, I think I want to try it just for science purposes. Like there's so many things that I want to try out this league. Like I still want to get to specters. Like I'm not even like interacting in my favorite zone yet. The world of necromancy. Like I really would like to be. But we'll get there later on in the league. I still have several other builds that I want to try. And they're on the list. Whew. Spooky. Vol Oversoul. No joke. Alright, where'd you go, Vol Oversoul? I got my Arcane Cloak up. He's going to slam. There we go. That damage is actually really good. We're phasing him pretty good here. For being what? Level 23? I feel like that's pretty good. Are we dead? Yeah, we're dead. The slam still does damage, even with Arcane Cloak. Bada boom. Yeah, it's because we have 0 physical mitigation. That's why. What's my phys mit right now? Oh, I'm sorry, 5%. We don't have 0. We have 5. Yeah, we have terrible phys mit. So, of course, the rocks and the slam are going to do damage. Katrim says, how hype are you doing? How are you doing so far with the league? So far, we're doing all right. I am not very excited about the dual wielding bugs. They said that they were going to come out with a patch to fix the dual wielding bugs, and then yesterday in the development manifesto they said, "Oh, we were about to do that, but we found out that actually introduced more bugs." So when I read that in the development manifesto, I was like, "All right, I'm done trying to dual wield right now." Ambrose says, I really don't find it to be that powerful. Arc is strong with Unleash and Archmage, but the single target just isn't there. That's where Magma Orb is going to come in, my friend. Boring login name says, anyone already tried Blade Blast's build? Are they good? That's interesting. Gimes on check says, no mines, traps, or totems, which is fine. Self-cast getting some love. Okay, there you go. Quantum says, also keep in mind, added damage is really strong early game. Yeah, I mean, maybe this drops off, right? Maybe everything that I'm doing drops off. That's possible. It's also possible that it won't. So if it doesn't, that's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see. See exactly how that informs like players playing what. Like, I should have been dead there. I should have 100% been dead. With that amount of mobs, with my amount of defenses and HP, but anything that got close, like Lightning Warp pretty much killed it. I feel like the cast rate on Lightning Warp is so fast. Like, Lightning Warp totems might be a legit build. I know that people have made meme builds about that in the past, but that's legit. K-Trim says, I'm glad I didn't start with my duelist. Yeah. You can play as a two-hander, right? And you can dual wield if you're using axes. The problem is using swords right now. If you're using swords, one of them has to be like a thrusting sword, and even then, like sometimes in some instances, the game is not giving you any benefits. The game is not reading that you actually are using two weapons, and so it's like, hey, you're not actually dual wielding. So you don't get the dual wielding buff, and sometimes the game doesn't read that you're getting any damage off of your second weapon. So Anders says, hey G3 Gandalf, I re-rolled away from dual wield as well right now, and I also just signed up for the bank, had 3x drop so far this league. Hey, that's great. Make sure that you're on our G3 Patrons Discord, and make sure you read the FAQ so you know how to make deposits. Tomorrow is the last day for deposits for this first bank run. Lee Gammy says, hey Iron, I don't know if you remember some Twitch message, but my Cyclone cast while channeling Blade Vortex with Death's Hand and Unholy Might, I'm still using it, and it's now very strong, very tanky, and very damaging. Hey, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Taco Mage says, Lightning Warp Totems, Meme Lord Boomer. Yeah, I mean, hey, if it works, right? Look at this. I'm in Act 3. I don't have an amulet or a belt. How many times have I died? I probably died. I've only died 10 times. I died 10 times on opening day just to Brutus on my champion. Now, granted, I didn't have a Wanderlust and a Gold Rim, right? I now have a Gold Rim. I now have a Wanderlust. I've got 2 Life Sprigs. Like, for a leveling character, this guy's pretty set, right? So I shouldn't act like, oh, this is so much better. Like, the gear is also a factor. What a shock. In an action RPG, gear would be a factor. But it is indeed a factor. All right, let's see here. Where are we at? What am I looking to buy? I'm looking to buy Storm brand Recall. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. Brand Recall. Boom. All right. We want to put that into our into a +1 slot. Let's put that instead of our Arcane Cloak, Frost Blink, Clarity, Spark. We don't need Spark there. There we go. Away you go, Spark. Shoo! Go away. Spark is no longer my friend. Lightning Warp is now my best friend. Katoma says, can I deposit without being in the guild? All of that is answered in the FAQ in the document. You need to be on the G3 Discord, the G3 Patrons Discord, which there is a join link down below in the video description. You can go read it. It's all inside the text channel that is titled Delirium Guild Bank. We've got our Guild Bank registration form page in there, and then we've also got our Guild Bank tracking sheet that's available in there. So you can check all that wonderful stuff there. All right, so here's Brand Recall. Where did my Arcane Cloak go? Arcane Cloak. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this, and then we'll just recall it all the time, right? Right? That's the way how this works? You just recall it all the time, and it should snapshot the damage? Is that what we're saying? I think that's what we're saying. So Arcane Cloak, cast a bunch of brands, and then you just recall. Oh my goodness. Arcane Cloak, bunch of brands, and then recall. Why do all of that when you can just lightning warp to kill things? No, seriously though, the damage is actually very noticeable when I've got Arcane Cloak up, and when I don't. It's pretty noticeable. I think. Maybe you guys are all gonna laugh and say it's not noticeable. I think it's pretty noticeable. Oh, that's a dead end. What the heck? Oh, I gotta go further down. Okay. Let's go further down. But the Templar did delve too greedily and too deep. Gold / the Venomous. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that damage is pretty good. I know it's early. I know it's early. That damage is pretty good. Where is she? Where's Piety? Come on, Piety. Come to Papa. Come to good guy Gandalf. He just wants to rescue Tolman. That's all I want to do. Has anyone ever successfully rescued Tolman? That's a question that I'd like to ask Chris Wilson. Has that ever happened before? Has there ever been a bug that's made it such that Tolman has survived? It'd be rather humorous. That and more bug questions. That would be fun. It'd be fun to ask like Grinding Gear Games developers like what their favorite bugs are. I think that'd be a pretty good question, right? Roy says, how can you die to Brutus? Roy, just go watch me on opening day. They gave him a lot more HP, but still, I had like no items whatsoever. That's how. Very, very simply put. Very simply put. Taco Mage says, still gathering materials for my SRS champion. That'll be interesting. Evil Clown says, I'm going to be real. I thought this was a VOD for like 15 minutes. Okay. That's funny. I just put it on full screen because I'm brain dead. That's fair. Oh no, what are you doing? Rich, why did you do this? Why are they all grouped up so funny? Alright. Let's go update this. let's go drop these into our Legion Scarabs. Oh my goodness, Legions. And all the rest of these are Bestiary? Okay. Beast Scarabs, here we go. Somebody who's asking how the Guild Hedge Fund is going. I think we're doing okay here. We're going to make a killing on these Scarabs. These are Guild Chaos. There we go. Guild Chaos. Alright. Good work, Rich. Excellent work. Mute all chat. He wants to buy a bow for 4 chaos. The Rune Thirst. Alright, here you go. Here you go, buddy. Go unveil to your heart's content. Give me some chaos so I can level up even more terrible builds. Wah ah ah ah. I don't need a removes freeze flask, but that's still a better mana pot than what I've got. Alright, where were we at here? We're actually just flying through here. We're already Act 3. This is fantastic. Alright, now we have increased spell damage per 100 maximum mana. Up to 40%. So, what is that? We need 4,000 mana to get up to 40%? Is that what it is? No, I can't do math. 2% per 100. I cannot do math. So... that means 100 times 20, right? Whoops. That seems pretty easy to get, actually. That's pretty easy to get. We'll get that pretty quick. Maybe I shouldn't have done that so early, but I think we'll get that pretty quick. Yeah, map drops are nice this league. Yeah, I am pleased with how maps drop more plentifully after the 3.9 conquers the Atlas expansion. I'm not necessarily happy with the way how progression works now. I feel like progression is very different, is significant in its differences. I'm not sure if I like that aspect. I like the Conquerors fight. Like I enjoy all of the bossing that's now like just a regular part of Path of Exile. But I just personally don't... I don't like the cycle of not fighting Cirrus for so long. Like, you don't fight him for basically forever. And then when you finally do fight him, you're like, okay, if you fail that fight, you don't get to fight him again for a long time because everything changes. It becomes like your attempts to be able to progress that fight then become randomized. So I don't necessarily like that aspect. Alright, here she is. The lovely lady herself. Piety. Whoops. I love when people don't understand the concept of buying in bulk. They're like, what? How much does that cost? It's like, well, you can buy a whole bunch of them. And you don't have to message a whole bunch of people. That's the whole point. It's a convenience. You would think during a virus outbreak where everybody's trying to buy things in bulk, you would think people in Path of Exile would understand the concept, the value of buying things in bulk. Philip says, again, the way how? Ah, you're killing me? Oh, I'm sorry I'm bringing you to an early demise with my terrible grammar. Alright, we could do Zealotry here. Eventually we're going to have Archmage pretty soon here. D'Artagnan says, my biggest issue playing Stormbrand Archmage hero is I'm just struggling with passive points, life, mana, regen, mana, cluster jewels, and the various brand nodes. Points are quite thin. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I feel like cluster nodes right now, unless you've got the perfect cluster nodes for your build, then cluster nodes might actually be a noob trap. Right? Like, don't try to force cluster jewels yet if you know that there are other better nodes that you should be getting. Hopefully that makes sense. I need to come through here actually first. Let's get mana and life. There we go. Speaking of mana and life, like I've got a bunch of life here that I can get. I've got life here I can get. I've got life here I can get. If I really want to, I can travel down and grab the life off of the Silent Life wheel. Yeah. Got lots of options. Philip says, buying in bulk in the real world is normally cheaper per item. Yes, because typically a retailer wants to be able to incentivize you to keep coming back. In Path of Exile, it's the opposite. You don't have repeat customers in Path of Exile. People don't have brand loyalty to your store, right? So offering them a better deal to come buy in bulk, that does nothing. That really does nothing. Wait, didn't we up the price on these? Thought we said 60. We want 60 stack decks for an X. Micah says, bulk in PoE typically works the opposite of IRL. You usually pay less for bulk. IRL, yes, I understand that. I understand that. What my point is people are getting that you need to buy things in bulk, right? And that's convenient IRL. And so the convenience when you go to the store is what drives that price down. The store is doing that as an incentive to get you to come back because you know that you can buy in bulk from that store at a better price than elsewhere at a worse price for less goods. In Path of Exile, it's the opposite. There is no brand loyalty. People aren't going to come back to me because I cut them a deal, right? In Path of Exile, there's a lot more inflation that happens on a daily basis than with your real-world dollar or with your real-world currency. And because of inflation, because of the way how things work in a digital gaming economy, you want to incentivize people the convenience that they only have to stop and interact with one person for a whole bulk, as opposed to interacting with 15 people. People don't like trading in Path of Exile. It's a hassle. Grinding Gear Games has done everything that they can to make it a hassle. And so part of the service that you offer when you're selling things in bulk is that people don't have to go through that hassle. They can just deal with you. They pay a premium for that. But that's the price of doing business. All right, I should actually go back to town because it's going to be faster to run through town and run to the sewer than it is to be running all the way through that instance again. PGB Hart says, hey Aaron, are your wee ones school aged? Are the schools closed in your area while you learn to live without toilet paper? So I home educate all my kids. All my kids are home educated. So they learn from home. And so believe it or not, school closing doesn't stop their education. Their education continues. Maybe they don't like that. Maybe that's a disadvantage in their minds. A whole bunch of kids are going to talk about, oh, it's so great. We were off of school for so long. And my kids are going to be like, you guys got off of school? You guys all suck. Micah says, PoE bulk is more akin to buying all your groceries from one store versus going to several different grocery stores chasing the deals on each item. Boom. There you go. Thank you, Micah. You said it better than I could. Roberto says laziness is strong in the PoE economy. It's both laziness, but it's also efficiency, right? Players who want to buy in bulk want to be as efficient as possible. Uh-oh, we touched the Delirium. Oh my gosh, here goes my performance. Get ready to tank performance, everybody. We touched Delirium. I'm going to die 6 times now. Oh my gosh. Look at the frames. Look at the frames. I haven't touched Delirium all day. First time I accidentally click on it. And it's atrocious. Ugh. Go away. Go away, atrocious performance. I don't want atrocious performance. I want good performance and fun gameplay. I think Delirium is fun gameplay, but I think it's atrocious performance. Oh my gosh, speaking of atrocious performance, I'm going to die. Oh, where did my brands go? Here they are. You know what? Screw that. There you go. Go away. Oh, look, I got a unique ring. that I'm not going to use. Ugh. As though a chance at a crappy unique ring can incentivize me to play with that level of performance on my rig. Like, no. That's no. It's not fun. It's just not fun not being able to see anything that you're interacting with. And I missed 2 of the busts during that whole thing. That's obnoxious. Taco Mage says cluster nodes can build define if you have the right ones, and they can destroy your build if you don't. Yeah, exactly. Like, don't worry about it. If you're following a strong build that you know was strong already, then you already know you've got great points to spend on your passive tree. You already know that for a fact. You know, hey, I've got good nodes that are already going to be strong, that have been well tested, that can take down, you know, whatever level of content it is that you're aiming for. If you already know that to be the case, then get those points first, and then any extra passive points that you want to get those as you're able and as you find cluster jewels or as you purchase cluster jewels that are worth it. Like, there's no point in trying to actually play yourself short on passive points when there's other better passive points that your build could be taking advantage of. Hopefully that makes sense. Laocan says we need one-click trades in PoE. No, it's not happening. Regardless if you want it or not, it's not happening. It's not happening. So I get if you want that, but it's not happening. All right. Where else do we want to go now? I could come up and grab Deep Thoughts. I could come over here and grab more HP. I could come over here and grab more HP and mana. That's what we want to do. The reason why I cut you off there, Lokan, it is not because you don't have a valid point that improved trade would make things nicer and easier and more convenient and have an impact on the economy. It's just not going to happen. GGG has taken a hardline stance on trade. They're not going to improve it, and frankly, they wish they could make it worse. That's not from me. That's not from me. That's from them. I feel like people always come to me and they're like, "Oh, Iron, you're defending what GGG is saying in this regard." Like, no, look, I trade all the time. Oh my gosh, the lag. I trade all the time in PoE. I enjoy trading in PoE because I enjoy digital economies set in gaming worlds. I don't enjoy the convenience of Path of Exile trading. I think it's atrocious. I think there's a lot of things that could be done to improve it. But if you improve trade, then you mitigate players' ability to actually experience the difficulty of the game. You essentially make the entire game easier for players across the board. And that's what GGG is worried about. They're worried about players getting through too much content too quickly. I can sympathize with that. As a gaming company, they want you to play the game longer. And so when you tighten up the gameplay loop of getting your improvements on your character, man, it means you play the game less. So, hey, Faramortis, it's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Yes, that hat. It is a beautiful, beautiful hat for good guy Gandalf. If you see G3 Iron, say hello to him. But today, good guy Gandalf has taken control of G3 HQ here. Quantum says, to be honest, I'm growing fond of the social interaction of trade. Yeah. I'm starting to not want a one-click AI. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different players who have lots of different opinions on it, and that's fine. That's fair. It's fair to have your preferences and to have your desires. I guess what I'm trying to say regarding trade is don't get your hopes up, right? I'm not arguing for one way or another in favor of or opposed to. I'm just saying GGG has stated what they're going to do on trade and how they want to approach trade. And so I don't want you to get your hopes up that, oh, someday they're going to release a better trade. They're not. They're not. Lee Gammy says, yeah, for my skill tree investments, I invest damage nodes 30% on cluster jewels and utility tanky nodes 70% on default passive tree. Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of damage and a lot of new utility that's available through these new clusters. And so there's just a lot of quality of life there. Doesn't mean you have to go with that. Doesn't mean you have to go with that approach. But it does mean there's a lot of really good quality of life that's available on the new notables as opposed to what's available on the passive tree. So if you've got generic damage that's available on the passive tree, generic damage that's available on the passive tree that's going to be worse ratios than specified damage that are on, let's say, for instance, the expanded passive tree through the new cluster jewels, then you take the life that's available on the regular passive tree, and then you take the damage and utility that's available on the clusters. So it just seems like that makes sense. Eventually I'm going to need a belt, huh? Eventually. WQ says, wait, GGG want to make trading worse? Why? All right, clearly you haven't read the trade manifesto. All right, give me a shout out in chat if you want me to take a break from leveling right now and we can go read the trade manifesto together. I feel like a lot of new players probably weren't around in game for when the trade manifesto was a thing, so maybe you're not arrogant or assumptive. Maybe you're not even knowledgeable on this topic that GGG has already stated what they're going to do. So if you want us to stop and read the development trade manifesto, put a Y in chat. If you want us to keep leveling, put an N in chat. If you're watching the VOD, just fast forward a couple minutes and you'll find out the results. So I feel like a lot of new players maybe don't know about the trade manifesto. And that's fair. If you don't know about it, you're not going to know about it until you get educated about it. So might as well take the time to actually, get educated about it. Ferrum says, so good to see you again, brother. Glad to see you weathering the CV-19 in your element. I'm hunkered down with report cards and history sims. There you go. That's the best that we can do, right? Yeah, work for me today has been incredibly slow, and so I was like, you know what? Might as well fire up the stream, and instead of sitting here and trading all day by my lonesome, I might as well level up a new character with you guys. That was my thought process. Or I'm sorry, that was G3 Gandalf's process. Thought process. All right, it's going to be on the front end of this zone. The front end of this zone for the bust that I missed. I missed it because I was interacting with the Delirium. Because I was panicking. Just more reason for me not to like Delirium. Hey, look, a diamond flask. I might actually want that. That will pretty much guarantee that we get... Yeah, that's going to pretty much guarantee that we're actually going to get a... Elemental Overload. Oh my gosh. My dude, it's 15x. It's 15x. Stop spamming me. Stop. This guy, what? If you're not online, then how is it that you can keep spamming me? Oh my gosh. Meanwhile, where is the bust? Is it to the top? Did I walk by it? Am I just going insane? Have I become 100% delirious? No, it's up here. Okay, that's where it is. I found it. I think we found it. Mordor Gandalf. Is it left or right? I think it's up here to the top left. There's usually a little side area that's not the way forward. That is the place where the last bust is. There we go. Yep, there it is. Alright, let's go turn those into Hargan. That's worth a passive point. And then away we go. We're almost level 31. Alright, what do you guys say? You guys are all saying, like, yes. Okay, basically, almost everybody says yes. There's a few of you that are saying no. Alright, so if you're saying no, feel free to take a break. Go use the restroom. Go grab a drink. We're gonna pull up the trade manifesto here. This is from 2017, so you shouldn't feel that bad if you haven't read it. Okay. This is from 2017, November 2 of 2017. How does that look on stream? Looks like it's okay-ish. There we go. It's okay-ish. All right. So, for those of you who are new, if you've never read this before, this is from Chris Wilson, the lead design developer at Grinding Games, regarding trade. Okay? All right, here we go. In today's news post, we described some minor changes to the Trade Online API we have made and mentions the beta launch of an official trade site. Yeah, back in the day, we didn't have the official trade website, by the way, which has a similar feature set to community trade sites, but also supports our non-English speaking users. That was a massive quality of life improvement in the past. If you've been linked directly to this manifesto post, then please read the news post first. The manifesto post is for players who are interested in hearing more about our philosophy and reasoning behind trade and the direction of these changes. Items matter and trade is important. When we started developing PoE in 2006, we identified several key design pillars. These are fundamental philosophies chosen to guide our design decisions through development. One of these was that items matter. Items are a player's reward for playing Path of Exile. They're the primary way of measuring progress in a league. A person with vastly more in-game wealth has often played longer than someone with a higher level character. They also matter because if a player had better items, then they'd be able to build more powerful characters, play harder content, and be viewed as richer and more successful within the game. The acquisition of items is why people play action RPGs. Chances are, if you're reading this, you understand why it's important that items matter because your Path of Exile items mean a lot to you as well. Yeah, like my dual wielding that I can't use right now. Anyway, they know it's a bug. They're getting on it. I shouldn't shout at GGG. I'm sorry, GGG. They're working on the bug. They didn't mean to introduce it. It sucks for them too. All right. For items to matter, it's important that they can be traded to other players. It's important that you could give the item to the other player if they were able to convince you into it. For this reason, almost nothing in Path of Exile is bound to your account. Even in solo self-found mode, which doesn't allow trading, items can be moved at will into the regular trading leagues so that you can benefit from their value if you desire. The ability to trade any item is a fundamental part of why people enjoy playing Path of Exile. If you're lucky, you can find amazing stuff and you can trade it for all the items needed to create an entirely new character build. The consequences of easy trade. So, given that we love trade and feel it is critical to Path of Exile's formula, why is there so much debate around trade in this game? Most of it stems around whether trade should be easy or not. While easy trade sounds great on paper, there are some important considerations. Easy trade reduces the number of times a character improves their items. People who are heavily engaged in trade perform fewer item upgrades to achieve their final build. They get there in fewer steps because they can easily buy items that are close to what they need. Simply put, their character progression is more about trading than it is about getting items from monsters. We believe that it is more fun to slowly and iteratively upgrade a character over time and to have a longer journey to gear up. Have a longer journey to gear a character up. Knowing that a monster could drop something that improves your character is a greater motivator for playing one more level. I will just speak to this really quickly as an example. My first character of this league, I believe it took us 3 hours of gameplay to get to Act 4. Where are we now? I'm like halfway through Act 3, and it's been like, what, an hour and a half? Not even 2 hours of actual gameplay? And I've been managing the Guild Hedge Fund, interacting with you guys in chat. Like, if I was a racer, I would probably already be close to Act 10 Kitava in just a few hours. And those of you who were playing on League launch day, you saw that because you saw racers pushing into maps while you weren't even at first Kitava, right? So those racers oftentimes in trade leagues are being fed items. When you have to struggle along and play your own character with no currency, with no ability to trade, with nobody feeding you items, it It makes your character progress slower. You have to upgrade more items because every single item you're looking at, you're going, hey, could this be an upgrade? Look at this character. This character doesn't even have a belt. I'm in Act 3 because I've purchased 2 life sprigs. We've purchased a gold rim. We've purchased a wanderlust. We've completely negated freezing, which slows down your character and can kill you, which means you're more time fighting and less time dying. We've got excellent wands that are giving us a bunch of spell damage that allow us to kill things faster. We don't have to worry about our elemental resistances because of Gold Rim. Okay, so what Chris is saying here regarding easy trade, like we experienced easy trade today, and look at how quickly our character has leveled up, as opposed to our first character in the league that we had to really struggle and really make some tough decisions, and even spend passive points in certain areas because we didn't have items dropping for us. That's a thing. Next up. He says, easy trade means reducing drop rates. Compare 2 hypothetical games. In the first game, trade is very difficult. The majority of items that can't be used by your character are not traded to other people. In the second game, trade is very easy. Many of the items that you can't use are traded to other people for items that you can. In the second game, because of trade, you have a much higher acquisition rate of useful items. While that sounds great if you want instant gratification, in reality, it means that the second game either receives reduced drop rates relative to the first or ends up being a whole lot easier and less challenging to achieve goals. Easy trade would make the disparity between different players too great. We see this right now, every single league. Players who collectively work together and work on markets, like us in the Good Guy Gaming Guild. Hey, we work together, we collaborate together using our currency, using the guild bank. We actually are able to get you guys more currency back from your investment, which makes it easier for you to upgrade your items. It's very, very true. It is less challenging to achieve your goals. This is why people who are considered to be the best at this game in terms of their skill level are players who are over in solo self-found and are able to take down bosses and take down and solo self-found hardcore to that extent, who are able to survive and take down bosses knowing that at any one mistake could cost them their entire character and all of their itemization and crafting and time that they put into it. The best players, this is going to sound like elitism for a moment, just deal with it. The best players skill-wise and mechanically wise are playing over there. That's where they're playing. They can't trade. They can't benefit from other people feeding them currency, feeding them items, feeding them levels, feeding them waypoints, group XP or group magic find, group play with somebody else giving you all of your elemental resistances on a support, with somebody else giving you all of the curse debuffs that you could ever want from a curse support, and you just being the carry that does a whole bunch of damage based off of those 2 other players. Solo self-found is a completely different game, and in fact, GGG, when they first started designing Path of Exile, that's what they were aiming for. They were aiming for that style of game. So their argument here is that easy trade would make for a greater disparity between players. Both of the above points are even worse when you consider the level of engagement with trade varies substantially from player to player. Most players who play Path of Exile never trade. Out of the players who do trade, most only complete a few trades in a league. The subset of players who regularly trade strongly overlaps with our core Reddit and forum communities, so people like us right here in G3. Chances are, if you're reading this, then you're one of the top 10% of players in terms of engagement with advanced systems. The difference in magnitude of trading and hence item acquisition and progress between non to low traders and heavy traders is gigantic. While a regular player would be lucky to accumulate a small handful of exalted orbs in a league, a trader might reach hundreds in the same time frame. This enables them to fully gear Shaper-capable characters, while the non-trader is still in mid-tier maps or even lower. The significant difference in player power and player progression caused by trade has already created a situation where Path of Exile is very hard for some players and quite easy for others. Some people never stand a chance of seeing some of the Atlas of Worlds content, while others can rather quickly defeat it and are looking for new challenges. We're tentatively okay with the degree to which this occurs currently, but it would be much worse if trading were made substantially easier. Easier trade allows for greater abuse of automation. Another topic is bots. While we work hard to stomp out bots and abusive behavior, it would be hard to completely eliminate the damage caused by a few trade bots with access to fast trade systems. If they have the ability to search out and buy items without having to talk to another player, then there would be some very large-scale economic consequences that would not be good for regular players. Trade in Path of Exile. From the start, we knew that PoE needed the ability to trade items, that we had to be careful not to make it too easy. We had seen what had happened in other action RPGs when characters could be upgraded trivially. We added trade chat and a secure player-to-player trade screen so that people could negotiate transactions and complete them without counterparty risk. With insufficient foresight into how it would eventually affect trade, we also added the abilities the ability to link items on the official forums. Linking items is a way of showing other players that you actually own an item because the system automatically checks that you still have the item in that forum and marks it as verified. This system was intended so that players could show off their awesome finds to other players. It was meant to be a trophy case, people. That's what it was originally meant to be. It was not originally meant to be a trading system. In a similar way to their in-game linking system. Because item matters so much in Path of Exile, it was important that we provided many ways to prove ownership of items. We even intended to allow people to tweet their items from within the game, though we never got around to implementing this feature. Before long, people used item linking to set up shops within the trade forums. This was expected because the goal of item linking was to prove ownership of items. These shops became complicated and people made tools that let users manage their shops and post them more efficiently. So far, so good. Then came forum scraping bots. Smart community members worked out that they could automatically crawl the forum and insert all of their items into a database, creating instantly and accurately a searchable index of all items for trade in Path of Exile. There was nothing we could do about this because it's almost impossible to stop people gathering information from a public website. A trade ecosystem evolved where players would search for items on trade websites to quickly find what they needed, but would have to manually contact the user in order to perform the trade. While this was a lot quicker than before, we grew to accept it, but we're worried about one aspect in particular. To create trade forum threads easily, users would download third-party programs and enter their account details, or at least their web session IDs. While these tools and their authors never took advantage of this in an illegal way, it was a potentially dangerous situation for our users, and we really needed an official solution. We made it so that way premium stash tabs can expose their content to trade sites on a public API. That's where we get public stash tabs from. That's literally why they exist. So again, from the get-go, from the original discussion, the original intent of Grinding Gear Games, easy trade was never the goal. Trade was never the goal. Okay. By the way, if you're liking this discussion that we're having, you don't have to like the contents of it, but if you're enjoying that we're actually discussing this as a topic, make sure that you go ahead, smash that like button and subscribe button. What else? What other things do YouTubers say? I don't know. Aggressively tweet out that you're watching G3 Iron. I don't know. What else do they say? Okay. So that's where we are today. That's the summary statement. That's where we are today. It's easy to list items for trade, easy to search for items, and is often quite frustrating to complete a trade. This remaining frustration is the only thing standing in the way of trades being basically instant. While we understand that this sounds like a positive thing, we are very concerned regarding what will happen if that does eventuate. We have it to prioritize the long-term health of Path of Exile. So, that's their stance on trade. They go on to talk about the trade market, they go on to talk about the role of SSF, and then they talk more about the changes. That's the trade manifesto. Whenever I refer to the trade manifesto and GGG's stance on the trade manifesto, that's what we're talking about. That is what we are referring to. Okay? So I understand that players want easy, more convenient ways of trading. Grinding Gear Games is at a stage presently, at least now you can hopefully understand, they're at a stage presently where they never wanted trade to be as easy as it already is. They never desired that. That was never a part of their intent. And so the fact that it's as easy as it is now is already something of great concern for the folks at GGG. Doesn't mean it's great concern for you. Doesn't mean you have to like it. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It just means that's where the gaming company is at, who's in charge of actually, this game. All right, I'm going to grab a drink of water. I am going to let you guys drop comments. Feel free to respond to the trade manifesto in chat. Feel free to say exactly what it is that you feel about the trade manifesto, and G3 Iron will be right back with a drink of water. Because, man, that was a lot of reading. Whew. Behold, it is I. Good guy Gandalf have returned. I come to you at the turning of the tide. Alright, what do you guys have to say? G3, when will be the time for your character to shout, "You shall not pass"? Exactly after the moment that Chris Wilson shouted, "You shall not have easy trade." It was at that exact same moment. I should be playing a war crier as Gandalf, right? Because he's running around screaming everywhere. K-Trim says, my only gripe with trade as it sits now is not knowing when a player is normally online. That's fair. Zalama says, oh, this is live. Wow. Had this on autoplay. I guess I've been here for like 2 hours and thought it was a video. Welcome, Zalama. Yeah, we are live today. Brian says, those blocky shadows are making me cringe. Blocky shadows. I have no idea what you're referring to. PG Hart says, if GGG wants people to play longer, because longer playtimes is greater chance of spending money, but trading decreases playtime, faster achieving of gear, make people pay money for efficient trading. To some extent, PGB, they've already done that. Right? To some extent, you pay to purchase premium tabs. So if you want to trade using premium tabs, that's already there. To a certain extent. To a certain extent. Laucon says, Chris has made some really good points, but without trade, I couldn't play this game. Last league, I got 3 or 4 good rare items to drop, and none were useful to my build. Yeah, I think that's, again, I think that's a pretty fair complaint. Didn't I already turn this in? Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's go back from reading mode into playing mode. All right, this is how we actually kill monsters. Let's actually kill some monsters. Wait, am I going the wrong direction? I just want to kill some monsters. I'm totally going the wrong direction, aren't I? Yeah, this is where the Harbor Bridge is. What am I doing? I get Archmage support next, right? That's what we're doing at level 31. We're level 27 right now. Let's go find Fairgraves again. Laucon says, and now Delirium has made practically all content timed, so players can't just quickly jump out a map to trade. Did a bit of trading last night, and the number of non-responses was discouraging. Yeah, people say that it's discouraging in the past, like to try to trade and not have people get back to you. Imagine now that every single instance, like people are trying to rush through and try to make sure that they can keep the fog going. Like, why can't I jump over there? What the heck? Yeah, it's kind of insane, like trying to trade with Delirium. It's kind of like you're trading with everybody as they're in the lab. Everybody's just like, hey, sure, I can trade, but can you wait a minute? It's like, oh my goodness. So I share some of those frustrations for you people. Believe me. Like, I help serve in a guild bank where we're responsible for a bunch of people's currency. And we want to make them a ton of currency back. Like, ease of trade is an issue for me as much as it is for anybody else. I'm not saying that I trade the most out of anybody. I'm not saying that I'm more important than anybody. I'm saying that I, too, have got thoughts on trade and the way how making easier trade might be easier for me personally. But I'm also recognizing that the developers of this game have taken a hardline stance regarding what they look on and smile with when they look on it regarding trade, and what they look on and think is atrocious when they look at trade. Oh, there's the... Is that the decanter? Why, yes, it is. So, if you want my thoughts on it, we've got like a 50-minute video on the topic. 45-minute video. You can just look up G3 Auction House. or G3 Good Guy Gaming. I think we titled it The Auction House, the Great Debate. I think that's what we titled that one. But I gave my extended thoughts, or I'm sorry, G3 Iron gave his extended thoughts there. G3 Gandalf doesn't comment on trade. Trading is for dwarves. G3 Iron is a wizard, not a dwarf. Yeah, I think Stormbrand is going to be good for a lot of players, especially as it's snapshotting like damage with Archmage or with Arcane Cloak. I think that's really good. I think basically every skill in the game, every spell in the game that has got a lightning base to it is really going to benefit from this. I don't see how that's disputable. Like, if you're playing a lightning-based skill gem, unless it's an attack, like, you're going to benefit from using Archmage. All right, now we go back here. Will says, I've been playing since 2.0 and trade has always been hard, and that makes it interesting in my opinion. Yeah, see, some of us who have played the game longer, it doesn't mean that we have a more valid opinion or our opinion is more valuable. It just means that we might have a different opinion, right? Those of us who have played the game longer and had to get used to trade as it is. On Stormbind, what are my thoughts on Stormbind? At the moment, we haven't really used Stormbind yet, so my thoughts are pretty limited. I haven't used it yet. Is there anybody else out there that has? That can comment on that question? I have not yet. All right, where else was I going over here? I was coming over here to grab some life. There we go. We're up to 700 life. I'm going to fight Dominus and not even have 1,000 life. That's what's going to happen here. Morv Jones says, well, at least you have the option. If you don't want to trade, you don't have to. That's a fair point. I think the entire game is that situation, though, right? The entire game is, hey, you don't have to feel like you're behind, right? I do think inside an internet-mediated community, players do feel like they're behind if they're watching some other player and they're taking on content that is further along or is viewed as being further along than somebody else. That's just human psychology. We're competitive. We're competitive, but we're also collaborative, right? So if we can work together to achieve goals, we'll try to do that. If we can try to race other people to beat goals, to accomplish goals, then we'll try to do that. Like, humans are very collaborative and very competitive, right? So I think all of those things are true. Yeah, Lightning Warp actually does more damage to Gravicius than Stormbind does. Or Stormbrand. I'm just saying. Whoops. I'm just saying. Our actual damage dealing skill needs to be Lightning Warp. I'm going to swap over added lightning damage. There we go. There we go. Look at the damage on that. Like, you can't deny the damage on that. The damage on that's way better. The damage on that's way better. I'm sorry. All right, so Lightning Warp it is. Lightning Warp leveling. Forget Stormbrand. I mean, Stormbrand is still good, but man, Lightning Warp does actual damage. It's one-shotting stuff here. Who would have thought that there would be a day when Lightning Warp, the Lightning Warp meta, would take over? Oh my goodness. All right, we're level 29. We're 2 levels away from Archmage. Joshua says, why don't they make SSF with increased drop rates and also make it not possible to transfer to Trade League? They don't. That's not what they do. They want it so that way if you drop a mirror or you drop something really valuable in SSF, that you have the option to migrate that over. That's an option that GGG wants you to have. So, again, doesn't mean you have to like it. You don't have to play their game. Nobody is sitting here saying you have to play Grinding Gear Games Path of Exile. I hope nobody feels like they have to play a game like with their hobby time. I hope you can enjoy your hobby time enough that you're playing something you enjoy. That you're not playing something out of a sense of obligation. Like, hopefully you're playing because you enjoy something, not because you're either A, addicted to it, or B, because you feel compulsed for some other reason other than addiction. Like, there are things about almost everything that I do enjoy in life, regardless of whether it's a game, people, organizations, politics, religion, anything. There are things about pretty much anything that I'm not going to like, but that doesn't mean that I don't seek to improve them, and it also doesn't mean that I don't seek to realize that if I'm not in charge of something, then I'm not in charge. So my opinion isn't necessarily going to make the final decision. Like, most of us actually don't make final decisions on most of the things that we actually interact with. Very few people make the final decision on things that they interact with. We call those people bosses, or CEOs, or lead developers in this case. Dragosi says, hey Gandalf, do you want a lightning pen support gem? Eventually I'll grab one, Dragosi. Thank you, though. Eventually we'll grab one. Alright, let's grab some more life. So that way, hopefully I have 1,000 life-ish for fighting Dominus. Eventually. I never thought that I would be using Lightning Warp again as a travel skill, let alone as a damaging skill. Okay, that damage isn't that great, but then you put on Arcane Cloak, that damage is good. Okay, so Arcane Cloak is the cheaper, the budget version of Archmage support, basically. It's something. Like, it gives us a big damage boost. Like, look at that. That's not insignificant, that damage. I'd say it's quite significant. Also, the fact that you can queue up so many lightning warps at the same time, that's pretty awesome. That moment when I thought I was going to try just any lightning spell, and the any lightning spell happened to turn out to be lightning warp. Oh, that's a twist. You can play any lightning spell and make it good. Can you do it with lightning warp? Oh, man. Imagine if your entire build was just built around using Leap Slam. You know? And for some of you, I forget who it is. For some of you, you guys have seen the Shield Charge Impale character that one of our G3 guys came up with and actually took down Cirrus Act 8. Or Awaken level 8. Not Act 8. Awaken level 8. Like, that's some bonkers stuff in my mind. Like, to take out the top end boss of the game with Shield Charge Impale, that's pretty legit. Now, the advantage that Stormbrand does have is that you can just cast and go, right? That is a distinct advantage. Right? Like, I'm actually having to stop and actually cast for lightning warp. So in that regard, that is a distinct disadvantage. Whoops, I need to go up, don't I? Hey, look, a Chaos Orb. Woohoo! We're rich, fam. Go buy some upgrades. Get over there. No, get over. No, I want to get over there. Why can't I get over there? There we go. I want to get over there. Yeah, I think Magma Orb is going to be pretty good with this. Magma Orb, Unleash. Nope, this is the wrong way to go. Nope, this was the wrong way to go. I'm so turned around right now. Oh my goodness. Finally, the content is catching up to me. Oh, you think you're OP with Arcane Cloak, do you? How about this? punk-ass Gandalf. Oh, man. Kermit's got a sassy attitude today. Whew. It's got to be up here to the top, right? Yeah, here we go. No? Yeah, here we go. We did it. We did it. We found our way. Yay. Do you know the way? We found a way. All right, we're level 30, so we almost have Archmage. And then all of this mana that's over here that we've been building up towards. It will all become damage. That's very exciting. It's a very exciting moment. It's going to be the greatest build of all time. The greatest amount of damage. The greatest amount of mana consumption. Oh, goodness. Watch me go get wrecked by Piety like 6 times. PGB Heart says, silly Iron, we only play games we hate. Yeah, it's true. Nice. All right, I think I want to start heading towards Deep Thoughts and towards Cruel Preparation. I think that's what I want to do. I could go up in here. Where is it? Up in here. Explosive Runes. You can cast an additional brand. That might be kind of cool. But we're not going to do that yet because I'm not committed to brands quite yet. Where is she? Get her! Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm dead. No, I'm not dead. Am I dead yet? Not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. I think I could go for a walk today. Am I dead yet? I'm about to be. Where is she? Oh gosh, I'm going to be dead. Where is she? Where is she? She keeps moving on me. Oh, goodness. Yay, we did it. I actually killed Piety Deathless. Wow. Woo! That's actually kind of an achievement for me. She's actually pretty tough now that she's got... They increased her attack speed when she's in melee range, and it's just ridiculous. Rainbow says, why is your cursor so big? Also, thanks for streaming on YouTube. It's easier on bad internet. On Twitch, I can't watch PoE and play on the same time. I get bad latency. Yeah, Twitch, there's so many things that I do not appreciate about Twitch. So that's another great reason that I'm glad we're over here on YouTube. So glad you're appreciating that, Rainbow. The reason why my cursor looks so big is because visual clarity in Path of Exile is to the point where it's really tough for me to actually see what the heck is going on. And so I want to be able to see what the heck is going on and where it is that I am particularly looking at or focused on. All right, so we could try out Divine Ire. So I feel like the sequence would be what? Archmage support on Divine Ire, and then you use Arcane Cloak. Let's give it a shot. We'll just give it a shot, right? So you Arcane Cloak right before you start channeling, and then you see what it does. Divine Ire on its own already feels really great to cosplay as Goku, so... Yes, it's called YOLO Mouse. That's the program. You can just type into Google YOLO Mouse, and then away you go. It's a fantastic little program that makes your cursor a little bit more visible for you to interact with. Because visual clarity or lack thereof is a thing. Totally an Expert says they buffed shield charge too? Oh, did they? Okay. Lee says, Iron, you must make this complaining voice playing with a puppet on webcam. Must be. Must be. Laucon says your Trump impression is pretty good. Many people are saying. Oh, that's great. I don't want to be disrespectful to those who are sitting in authority. It's all for entertainment purposes only. It's not to be disrespectful. I wouldn't want somebody being disrespectful of me, so I probably shouldn't be disrespectful of other people. That's the way how that goes. Totally an Expert says Gandalf and Goku combined. By our forces combined. All right, let's try Divine Ire. Here we go. Divine Ire into here. What should I do with these brand skills? Ugh. Arcane Cloak we need. What if I take Clarity off? How bad is my mana regen? All right, Divine Ire goes here. What else? Lightning Warp goes here. Also, I should be using that double dash move, right? Ooh, that one hit pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's actually gonna make a difference to have Arcane Cloak up. Also, without Clarity, my mana consumption is noticeable. Wow. That's very noticeable. So I'm going to have to get a Clarity going. Again, I'm going to have to actually redo some of my gems here. Okay, so let's do a quick test here. So this is Divine Ire. Whenever another mob comes up, this is Divine Ire with no Arcane Cloak. Where's a mob? All right, here we go. Divine Ire, no cloak. At 10 stages. I mean, at 10 stages, I'm just blowing everything up anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. That's at 3 stages. Here's Divine Ire, 3 stages. With Arcane Cloak. Whoops, that was 8 stages. I'm not sure if there's a visual difference that I'm seeing here. Maybe. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm just missing it. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Gandoku? Yes, we are Gandoku. Draconis Gandoku. G3 Gandoku. Will he ever stop channeling? Find out next. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's actually worth it. Also, the fact that you have to stop and channel with Divine Ire is always something that's bad for leveling, right? So that's again where, shoot, even Lightning Warp is going to have you beat. What does Spark feel like with this stuff on? I don't have Pierce and I don't have the Threshold Jewels for it, so... Alright, so there's Arcane Cloak. Where's Stormbrand? And then bring Clarity back on. So we tried Divine Ire low level. It's always going to be slower because it's a channeling spell. I don't feel like I could feel the damage a whole lot, but maybe it will feel different. Whoops, I need to put Stormbrand on here. Oh, I'm going to die. I don't feel like it made that big of a difference. It might. Maybe with Archmage it might. I don't know. I wonder if Stormbrand, when you recall it, if it'll get the mana usage off of that. Like, can you use Arcane Cloak and then Brand Recall and then benefit off of the new snapshotted damage? Or does it just keep that snapshotted damage from when you first cast it? Maybe that's what it does. In which case, you just need to keep smashing Brand Recall, right? That seems to be how most Brand players play anyway. Is you basically just fall asleep on your keyboard, whatever key it is that you've got that's for Brand Recall. And you put Empower into Brand Recall as well, so it just has no cooldown time. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think Lightning Warp with less duration, with like virtually no duration, is actually going to be really fun. I can feel myself smiling more when I think about Lightning Warp than when I think about Stormbrand, so... I don't know. Do what brings joy, right? Lightning Warp, it brings me joy. Alright, let's go find this waypoint. I think Dominus killed us like what? Like 30 times? Alright, we're level 31. Dominus killed us so many times. So many flippin' times. on our league starter that it was just ridiculous. All right, let's look up Archmage support PoE. Is level 31 is the required level. What's the quest? A Fixture of Fate. Didn't I do that one already? So I should be able to buy it, right? What? What the deuce? Oh my gosh. What am I doing wrong here? Oh my gosh, this is the same guy. This is the same guy who just keeps spamming. Go away. People who spam people for high value cards expecting to get a deal. Go away. They're the worst. Logger says maybe it's because you only have 600 mana. That could be. Yeah, I could use it on bosses. That's fair. That's a fair point. All right, so let me hop over to this character, grab an Archmage support. Whoops, wrong character. Wrong character. Can I get a level 1 from Lily? Yeah, it's Siosa. I don't want to do the Siosa quest. I was hoping that it would bug out and would let me get it anyway. And it wouldn't. It wouldn't. I needed to use my Jedi mind powers on it, and it didn't work. Alright, where's Archmage? That's buying it at level 1. At level 1. Okay, perfect. Drop it in here. And away we go. Quantum says, can we have a map guild stash? Sure, why not? Why not? Where's my microtransactions? Sure, let's do that. Let's get another premium guild stash because we can't buy 10 more slots. It's so dumb that we can't because we're full. Even though I brought like 1,000 points over here the other day. So that way we could grow the guild. But I guess 250 is it. Alright, apparently we've got a bunch more deposits over here in the guild bank. There we go. Did this work? Did that work? Did we buy it? I bought it. It says we bought it, right? Purchase successful. We're down to 756. Do I need to like log in or log out? We really, really, really need some guild functionality in-game. Hey, there we go. All right. Maps to share. Maps to share. Everybody can go here and there. Why can't I move this? Can you not move anything in Guild Stash? Is that what it is? That's fair, I guess. Let's tell the guild. Hey, guildies. We now have a Maps to Share tab. It's in the guild stash. Do we still have a veiled items? Yep, veiled items, officer remove. What else should we put in here? Maps to share, flasks, 4 links, 5 links. We've already got gems. We'll just call this G3 art. People can go make art in our guild stash tab. There you go. Go make some art. Sometimes people leave people messages and type things in there. It's just an awful mess. All right. What were we doing? Oh, yes. We were grabbing Archmage support. That's what we were grabbing. Here we go. Supported skills have 1 to 15 added lightning damage. Supported skills have base mana cost equal to 6% of unreserved mana if that value is higher. Supported skills gain lightning damage equal to 70% of mana cost if mana cost is not higher than the maximum you could spend. Okay, so now is where I go buy a tabula, right? And then the rest of the game is just trivial. I feel like we were having a conversation about trade and things becoming trivialized after that. I feel like that was a conversation that we recently had, but I'm not sure. None of these people are selling, right? Let's see if any of these people actually go through. We'll find out. Whew. Taco Mage says Grinding Gear Games 3.11 Guild League. Hey, that would, believe it or not, one of the things that Path of Exile isn't tapping very much into is the whole community side of things, right? MMOs are massive for their social draw. They draw in players simply because of the social side of things, right? So Grinding Gear is kind of losing out on a player base there. I don't think I have any of the colors. I think Blasting and Diz are the two that have the color stuff. Yeah, I have none of my crafting unlocked yet, basically. Basically anything that's useful I don't have unlocked yet. Alright, so let's throw this tabula on. Now we've got a tabula, so we've got much worse life, but now, again, we're going to make the entire game trivial because we have a 6th link. So, let's throw in here Stormbrand, Controlled Destruction, Added Lightning, Archmage. Anything else that we want to throw in here? What else do we want to throw in here? Lightning Pen, Conch Effect, Chain. Is Conch Effect Act 4? I think so. I'm going to buy some gems here on my other guy. I think that's true. Jeff Berg says, if you know what colors you need, you can get a corrupted 6-link body armor with some stats for less than a tabula rasa. That is a great suggestion for most folks. I'm just not going to take the time to search for it right now. All right, what else am I looking for here? I am looking for Lightning Pen. Where's good old Lightning Pen? Here we go. Concentrated Effects, Conch, which needs level 18. There we go. And that's it. Oh, and chain support. Chain. I should try Magma Orb as well. And where's Unleash? So many things I want to try out. So many things. Okay. Let's drop these into character swaps. There we go. Oh, I also needed Second Wind support. That's another thing I needed. Second Wind. There we go. Second Wind, and what else? Arcane Surge. Oh, yeah. Arcane Surge. I forgot. Oh, it's going to be so broken. All right. Arcane Surge. What else? What else can we come up with? Does Second Wind work on Brand Recall? I should get another one just in case it does. Yeah. We're going to put that on Brand Recall. Oh, and then Orb of Storms and Tempest Shield. Yeah, we were going to do that too. Orb of Storms. And then Tempest Shield. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that I needed here? I need all the gems. I need every single spell gem, and we will test it out. All right, let's head on over here. Go back on to Draconis Delirium. Oh, Inspiration. That would be a good one. Yes, Brand Recall does work for the CDR only. Oh, that's brilliant then. That's great. That's great. All right, let's throw these into character swaps. Let's make this a different color than everything else. Look at all these crappy gems going into character swaps. Okay. Second Wind, we want to put with Brand Recall. Perfect. It goes right there. Perfect. Okay, then Second Wind, we also want to put with Frostblink, right? All right, so I'm going to need to resocket this. Let's resocket this first. Is it low enough level? Can I not get a 4-link on my Wanderlust? I might not be able to. There we go. And we got a 4-link right away. Okay, great. So we can do 4-link over here. Frostblink, Second Wind. Whoops. Green gems don't go into blue slots. Come on. What are you thinking, Iron? All right. And then Brand Recall can go over here, actually. Actually, no. We want it in the +1 level. Arcane Cloak. Clarity. Anything else? All right. I think that's good for now. And then character swaps. Let's go Conch Effect rather than added Lightning. Lightning Pen. Yeah. And then we can't use Unleash until 38. So that's when we'll use our Magma Orb. Can't use Chain until 38. Okay, so until then, Orb of Storms. Tempest Shield. You have to be using a shield though. Right? Yeah, you have to be using a shield. Which I don't have a shield right now. But that's fine. We can fix that later. Where was I putting Arcane Surge? Didn't I put an Arcane Surge in here? Here, we can put this in here instead. Okay. Alright, now let's go see what that does. Whew! Now you only need a chest with 10 sockets. Yeah, if only. Oh, man. Laocan says, this item swapping between characters is making the game trivial. It is! Look at what's going to happen now. Look at what's going to happen. All right, where is Clarity? All right, how much does this cost? This costs 86. All right, so what we'll do is we'll Arcane Cloak. Yeah, look at that. You're telling me that's not trivializing the game? Like, everything just dies. To me, that's pretty trivial. When everything just dies. A moment ago, it was taking my character, like, actually moving around. Now I can just face tank stuff. Alright, that's going down. That's the wrong direction. Yeah, Stormbrand wasn't one-shotting stuff a moment ago. Now it is. Alright, Orb of Storms will go here. Look at that. That's pretty good. No? You guys don't think that's pretty good? Brand Recall, cast while channeling Cyclone for the win. Oh, now that sounds dirty. Can we fit Cyclone onto every single build? How to improve every single build with Cyclone. Yeah. Probably. We probably could fit it onto every single build. And it would probably actually improve every single build. Alright, so is Frostblink working with Double Dash? Or did I not put Frostblink? I thought I put it in there. Oh my gosh, my mana is just gone. I mean, that's fine. We're killing everything. But my mana is definitely just gone. Yeah, I thought we put Second Wind in with Frostblink. Supported non-instant. Oh, it's because it's instant, right? Is it because it's an instant? Yeah, cast time instant. So I want to do this then. No, but there's no cooldown use on that. Is it dash? Is it dash and not Frostblink that I'm thinking of? Is that what I'm thinking of that's going to take advantage of the Second Wind? I think I'm right. I think it's dash. So I'll need to pick up a dash. Like, look at that damage. That damage is no joke. I mean, it might be that Dominus actually kills us here. We'll find out. I have less than 1,000 HP. So we'll find out. Let's go find out together how that works. He might kill us right away. We might actually just chew through him. Alright, Orb of Storms is up. Lots and lots of damage here. Arcane Surge. I feel like we're doing okay. I feel like we're doing a lot better than on our duelist. Well, that time we actually took damage. Oh, are we actually taking damage here? I still don't have a bleed flask. Oops. Yeah, those guys were legitimately killing me several times over again on my duelist, and it took us a while to even do 10% of Dominus's HP. And yeah, he's gonna go down here. Unless he touch a gods me. Oh, speaking of which. Yeah, he's down. Like, you can't tell me that didn't just trivialize the entire game. Taco Mage says going the correct direction trivializes the game. That too. Me not traveling in the wrong direction. That is a good point. That is a fair point. Oh my goodness. What about Lightning Warp? Does Lightning Warp trivialize the game? I'm gonna die here. And then we killed him. Okay, 1 death on Dominus versus like 40 deaths. Yeah. Yeah. Not even a problem. So I feel like this is a great example. Wally says, is this a witch? No, this is a Templar. Could you not tell from the elongated neck? He does kind of look, he's got a feminine look with the 2 life sprigs. I can see where you're coming from. But no, he is the official representation. This is the G3 Iron MTX that is not purchasable in game. It's free. It's free to play. You just have to select Templar. Free to play MTX, now available in Path of Exile for your playing pleasure. Yeah, I do feel like my mana just absolutely drains, right? It just absolutely tanks out. That's definitely true. The mana definitely disappears. but everything dies. I wonder what 3 dragons will be like this league. If you're going to do Archmage, right, and then you do 3 dragons, that could be pretty interesting. No? You guys don't think so? I think that could be fairly interesting to go 3 dragons. Swap your damage up a little bit. I think it could be pretty strong. So for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about here when I say 3 dragons, this is this unique, the 3 dragons helm. Here you go, you can take a look. The 3 dragons golden mask. Your fire damage can shock but not ignite. Your cold damage can ignite but not freeze. Your lightning damage can freeze but not shock. So essentially you scale up the largest rolls in the game possible, which are lightning damage. You use Archmage in order to use up all of your mana and add that as base lightning. And then your lightning damage isn't going to shock, but it's going to freeze everything. Right? Right? Taco Mage says movement trivializes the game. We need a no-walking meta. You're absolutely right. I think flying trivializes fantasy stories, right? Think about the Eagles. How OP the Eagles were. J.R.R. Tolkien needed to nerf the Eagles. All right, so we have made it from Act 1 to Act 4 in a single gameplay session. I feel like that's a good spot to take a break, so I'm going to go eat some lunch. And who knows, work depending, maybe it is that I'll be back on. Maybe G3 Iron will be back on. We will see what sort of various wizardry I am called to later on in the day. But thanks so much for hanging out and watching. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and ding the bell to be notified when we go live again. And for more video discussions right here on the Good Guy Gaming channel. I have been G3 Gandalf, and it has been my pleasure to play some Templar with you using Archmage support. And I'm very excited to see what this build can do in maps as we tinker around with the different spell setups that will be available to us. Thanks so much for watching once again, everybody, and I hope that Delirium is the league that a Mirror of Calandra will drop for you.